Hey, my name is Pep. Jesus Christ, did this game bring a screeching halt to the hot streak. If you were wondering why I started posting suddenly, just out of nowhere, short form videos on smaller games, it's literally because this motherfucker made me mad if I played it for too long. Fuck it, let's get into it. Martian Gothic Unification is the answer to several questions that literally no one has ever asked. Would people like Dead Space if it was on the PS1? Were there sci-fi Resident Evil ripoffs in an era that followed it? At what point does a puzzle game become unreasonable? Can you make box art that looks like an Animorphs cover starring Cuba Gooding Jr.? In order, no, yes, this point, and yes. But allow me to dive a little deeper. You play as three pretty interchangeable people. There's Karn, Kenzo, and Matlock. They have full government names, but I don't care and you don't either. Karn has a couple passwords the others can't get. Matlock does medicine, and Kenzo has an AI girlfriend. They're sent to a Mars base that went dark to figure out what's going on. To the shock of probably no one, a bunch of people on a remote government science base were doing a bunch of unethical shit that didn't go well. Science experiment gone wrong, gone sexual, etc. Fucking with the body of an unknown alien in order to perfect government mind control. The people in space all got under a bunch of nebulous but really bad effects. Turned rats into little alien spiders. Scientists in what they call non-dead, I'm not kidding. And the big boys, made of, I think, smashed together people called trimorphs. Your job is to get in, handle it, and get out. Sounds simple, right? If you said yes, fuck you, you don't know shit. This game has a story of the nightmare and controls like one too. Allow me to elucidate you on how this fucking monstrosity plays. Tank controls, in case you couldn't tell. It's less egregious than Tomb Raider because you're never expected to jump, but also as annoying because you spend the entire time in claustrophobic hallways and tunnels. The big sell of the complex haunted house in games with fixed cameras like this is that eventually you learn the place. It is embedded in your mind. It becomes second nature to you, and you stop needing the map as you weave through the halls, its twists becoming familiar to you. And Vita Base ain't it. There's two problems with establishing that kind of connection to this fucking place. The first is how nondescript things are. This part of the loop looks almost fucking identical to this fucking part of the exact same fucking loop. The map isn't really close enough to let you orient yourself. And the second issue is that at first, each of your three characters are siloed off in their own distinct sector. You're able to send items back and forth via the vac tube system, which is a genuinely clever mechanic that at least makes you learn where safe tubes are and balance resources like ammo and health items between all your fucking goobers. And since inventory management is such a big deal, you can't just use them as dumping grounds either, because if they have stuff in them, you can't pull down what other people have brought or are trying to send to you. That's all fine. The issue is that once the big bulkhead doors lift, anyone can go anywhere, and the coherency of smaller sections totally falls apart. You can't have two characters in the same place either, barring a couple of exceptions I'll talk about later. So it's double annoying, because now you have to worry about where you're placing people and also where you need to send other guys, because if they cross paths, it's a game over. I will also say, while I'm talking about placement inconvenience, when you're not piloting them, everyone has literally zero survival skills. So you need to put them somewhere where they're safe, or they're going to get mauled to death as you try to make forward progress, because they won't be like, oh, I have 500 rounds, I could squeeze off 10 and not die right here. Speaking of progress, for your own sanity, use save states, for the love of God. When I played Tronbon, I used the in-game saves, but here, where dying is very, very easy and getting drained of big chunks of HP is commonplace, save yourself. Save yourself the fucking headache and throw down saves much more often than the game will let you otherwise. Also, swallow your pride and use a fucking guide. This would have been an ad for Brady Games if this niche-ass game, cribbed from Resident Evil, merited a big glossy magazine instead of a bargain bin trash fire. I will caution you, pick one guide and stick with it. Because of the open and messy and non-linear nature of Martian Gothic, it means that each person, saintly enough to write a guide for this fucking disaster, took a different number of hits from his holiest crack pipe, so they'll reference shit you have not done yet, or places you've already gone to, or places to pick up things that you don't even have anymore. So far, all I've been doing is bitching. I'm not going to apologize for that, fuck you. The story's not revolutionary, though. Juggling three morons is annoying, the map is frustrating, but how does this fucker actually play? Not great. Let's talk about the action first. You have 2 attacks. You have gun and boot. Boot is totally useless on anything but the crawling little fuckers called extrudes, where it's honestly necessary. Their incessant spawning makes killing them a waste of your physical time on the earth. But I did sometimes take the time to pin one against a wall and stomp them the fuck out. Trimorphs can only be killed with a flare gun that you get later, but they just run straight at you and permanently die, so honestly, I don't mind the fact they can kill you with some weirdly questionable animation ranges. The non-dead are the biggest issue. Yes, I know that name is fucking stupid, and no, I will not let you live the rest of your life without knowing it yourself. They're not like super strong or fast or anything, but there's not really a place to run most of the time. There's no cooldown on how often they can grab you. They take a variable number of shots, and most annoying of all, they do not fucking die. No matter how many shots you put in them, with what gun, big caliber, small caliber, fucking machine gun, if you're nearby them for too long, oops, Undertaker sit-up time to die. At a certain point, if you're even looking at like half of the containers, you have more ammo than God, more than you'll ever need for all the fucking good it does you. By the end of the game, my Matlock had 500 rounds of ammunition, and she couldn't kill fucking anyone. Rarely is your movement timed in a way other than seconds of your life. But every fucking hallway becomes more and more of a hassle as you play, as you try, and mostly fail, to weave through them, because more corpses sit up and more corpses sit up, and it becomes a fucking problem. You'd think that means that health is important, but health wasn't an issue either. I could have grabbed more health items. The main tax of this game is your fucking life. The beats of your little fucking heart. The hallway toll, paid in bullets, is irrelevant. The health toll, totally manageable. And it's the annoyance toll that really starts to get under your fucking skin. But the puzzle. Puzzles, if you can hear the fucking air quotes, are where the difficulty comes from. And that's not a positive. The key cards aren't puzzles, so they don't count, but a few of them do make sense. A few of these things you have to do kind of, they make sense in my point-and-click brain. Take off a duct, screwdriver. Clean a fan, scrubber. Rusted chain, hacksaw. Want to seal a hole before the VR AI girlfriend chair? Sure. Balloon on the hole, pump to make an air bladder. These are things you could reasonably figure out how to do on your own. I won't lie, I am tempted to break down every single puzzle in detail to show you a taste of the brain I have lost, of the insane shit, but I will give you a single sampling. Do you want to get the only weapon that can kill a Trimorph? First, use a screwdriver on a loose electrical panel, not how that works, run to a medbay and let the Trimorph run by you. Sneak behind it, sprint to an airlock room, use a scarab, I'm not kidding, it's some kind of digital beetle device, and a book that's so impossible to see, I literally had to scrub back through my own footage to see if I'd missed it, only to eventually find it looking like a single motherfucking pixel. And then you have 5 seconds to open the door, sneak back past the Trimorph into the hallway for it to get sucked out of the airlock. Where did I get the scarab? For me, it was 4 fucking hours before this happened. How were you meant to figure out a scarab opened a regular looking door? Fuck you. What kills me about this interaction is that you only needed some of this for an effective mood. Here's how you handle it. You use a screwdriver on the panel. I'm going to ignore the physics of that. You wait, you let the Trimorph sneak by you, you sneak in, and then you find the flare gun on the ground. At that point, you have to pick it up, load it, turn around, and fire at a Trimorph who is barreling through the door, in my interpretation of this scene. It's an effective panic moment. It's a cool little thing you get for getting to the end of this hallway. And most importantly, all you have to do really is change where the screwdriver is to prevent people from getting to it, because the scarab is just another fucking gate. Killing Trimorphs doesn't net you a ton on its own. There's still a bunch of shit that you need that you have to go through a bunch of other fucking hoops for. Why couldn't they have made this like a panicky moment, a genuine moment of just like, oh shit, I am going to die. Whatever, man. For a different showing of why this game can be incredibly frustrating, the singular rule they impress upon your brain meat is that you cannot get 2 characters in the same room. It gets mentioned, you get a warning when 2 people are 1 room apart, the same you get when they're being attacked when you're not piloting them. You get a game over if it happens. But later on, you need 2 motherfuckers in the same room. I can hit both these switches with this BB gun. I do not need a second person. For some reason, though, they're completely fucking insistent on making you break the big fucking rule for no clear reason. Later, you have to get two of them close together again, in my case, Karn and Matlock. But, like, that one, you at least have the plausible deniability of the cabin, the sealed cabin of a fucking construction vehicle separating the two. But this, she can see him. I could shoot him with my BB gun. Fuck all the way off. Suck my dick. Martian, Gothic, fuck you. The whole experience started wearing on me more and more, and by the end, I was just playing on full fucking tilt. I had hundreds of rounds of ammunition, but acting on good information and slightly imperfect execution meant I wasted so much time in having to handle shit in roundabout ways. There was a door that I couldn't remember how to open, and I couldn't be fucked to find it out, so I just big fucking loop had to go around, because trying to figure out anything in this game was like pulling your fingernails out with your own fucking teeth. I was so hopeful when I started. By the end of this, I was a raw nerve. It felt like I shot someone trying to break into my fucking house. I had to spend days away from this game at a time in order to force myself through it. Paranoid that I left something in a hatch somewhere or have to scrub through my footage because how else was I going to find it? I want to laud the attempt. I do. Despite this being like Jet Set Radio level of pissing me the fuck off. I want to because it's so close to like having that something that makes it special. But the end result falls so far short that it only causes me psychic fucking pain. At one point, you shoot a ghost with a gun. Fuck you. Personally, I would tell you to play something else, but I can't stop people from making bad fucking decisions. So if you want to be that guy, you're free to be that guy. Brenna is officially 2 for 3. She has finally logged a very painful miss. Fuck Martian Gothic, fuck its Unification, fuck Karn, fuck Kenzo, fuck Matlock. I don't even remember which one of them I sacrificed at the end. I think it was Karn, but who cares? Do you care? I don't. Back to the goddamn wheel.
Hey, it's Editing Bep. So, I went through the trouble of setting up these cool little flashing things you see on screen, so when my friends talk, they show up, so I don't have to, like, worry about indicating who's who. And then, because I am blessed with the infinite wisdom of the hell zone of Martian Gothic, I decided to compress it, which I usually do. I generally compress all of my videos for space reasons, using Handbrake, a free app that fucking owns. But it kind of just deleted every other single audio track, so it's completely silent. If I stopped, there's nothing. That sucks, because I got some folks in here that usually don't show up, and it was kind of hype. That's unfortunate. I did get Cassette Beasts as my next spin, and we were all pretty excited about that. Some of us had played it, some of us were excited for it, but it was generally like a good vibes that in order to save like 7 megabytes, I fucking deleted. I tried to recover it, but it didn't really go anywhere. Sorry about that. That sucks. It would have been a really bright note to end this on, but sorry.
Oh, cool. I can scratch my itch to play Pokemon without giving Nintendo $700 or however much their shit costs now. I'm actually kind of excited to play this one, I won't lie. It helps that the logo is like the same typeface I already use, which is a funny coincidence. Here's hoping for greener pastures. I'll see you when I see you. Later.